Hello and welcome back, everybody. I'm really happy that so many of you seem to be in very busy discussions. I think that is the best sign for a conference like this, that you're all having interesting conversations and making new connections here. I've also exchanged quite a few contacts on LinkedIn and chatted with you in the exhibition center. I hope you all had a really interesting morning and noon sessions to really dive into the topics a little bit more and maybe got some inspiration of what this whole tech world has to offer for you, maybe some new opportunities. So the goal of this afternoon session is now to transfer some knowledge from our experts that we have invited here, because as you all know, the tech world is not just the tech world, but it's a very diverse field, and we thought, or the organizing team thought, it would be really interesting to get a sneak peek behind the scenes of some real-world examples of how they do their business within this very diverse industry. So I'm really happy that 3 companies followed our call to share their expertise here. And for this first talk, we will do a trip into the metaverse. Can I please get a quick raise of hands again? Who of you has already experimented in the metaverse? Okay, seems to be quite new still. I saw that there was a stand outside. They had these goggles, so I also tested that. It's quite trippy, I think. Okay, cool. So our next speaker is an expert on this. They have developed a technology using NFC tags for products in the metaverse, if I'm not mistaken. And I hope he's going to tell us all about it right now. He's the CEO and the founder of collectID, Simon Geisser.
Hello, welcome everyone also from my side. Actually, the name is David Geisser, but not that bad.
Sorry.
We also wanted to come here as a tech team, but I have to apologize for my colleague, Katarina. She's still in the airplane back from Portugal, and yeah, these days you cannot always be 100% sure that planes arrive in time. In the next 15 to 20 minutes, and I would also love to leave a little bit of time for some question, if someone might have a question. I want to give you an idea on how we see that concept of digital assets, digital products, their usage, and obviously how that could translate into some use cases within the metaverse. We come from a physical world and try to enable physical products to be ready for that digital environment. But yeah, I don't want to take away too much. And yeah, I hope I can take you on a little journey for the next 15 minutes and inspire some of you. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of collectID, and our mantra is that we are the truth behind the product. So the problem we initially wanted to solve is the problem of counterfeited goods, fakes. It's a $2 or $3 trillion industry, and thousands or millions of products are counterfeited every year. That ranges from luxury items like handbags, sneakers, fashion items in general, luxury watches, but it's also true for medical products, food, beverage, for example, wine. There's a quite interesting documentation on Netflix about fake wines. I can really recommend it if someone needs some good content for the rainy Sunday tomorrow. Another number we wanted to highlight here is that the NFL, that's the National Football League in the US, they lose approximately $3 billion because of fake counterfeited merchandise products. So this is not included pirate streaming. This is not including any illegal access to content. Is simply the damage caused by counterfeited merchandise products. And the problem for the consumer is to find the authentic over the fake, especially when shopping online. So I don't know if you have an idea. It's quite difficult also with the additional black layer, but what we want to show here, it's really difficult to identify fake over real products. Who thinks the one on the right side is authentic? And I guess everybody else thinks the other one? This is actually the authentic one. So, yeah. collectID solves that problem by combining blockchain and NFC technology to create a secure ecosystem for brands, their products, and the consumers buying these products. How does this work? We integrate a small NFC tag into physical products. This is the technology that you know from your contactless banking card, so you probably use it every day. And this NFC tag contains a unique identity. So every single product gets its own identity, like a fingerprint or like a DNA of human beings. That means if the two of us own the same product, the same size, the same color, still these two products have a different identity. And we then take this unique identity, we store it in a smart contract on the blockchain as an NFT. I guess most of you have heard about that term. And we use that digital twin then to prove the authenticity, but then also to create, and that's where it gets really exciting, a digital twin of the product that can be used in a metaverse or in a digital dimension, however we want to call it and however this world evolves. So again, to quickly summarize here, we have the physical product, we have the NFC tag that goes into the product, can be washed, can be used for sports, so there is no effect also in the wearing comfort or in the performance of the product. And then we create the digital twin of the product that can be accessed by simply scanning the product with the smartphone. So I can quickly show it to you. And yeah, for those who want, you can also try it out later yourself. So I just tap, in this case, the hang tag of the product with my smartphone, and then I get access to that digital version. I guess it's quite difficult to see, but yeah, eventually you get an idea. It's the same that you see on the screen. This is just the beginning. Oh, sorry. So by creating that digital twin, and again, when we started, it was all about protecting the authenticity of the products. So we were calling brands, we were trying to do business with brands and told them like, yeah, we protect you from fakes. We called Gucci, Adidas, all the big brands, and we thought like, yeah, they must welcome us with open arms, right? That was not the case. Some brands don't like to speak about that topic. Some brands acknowledge that there is a problem, but it's not an urgent need to solve it. So we realized that, and this is often the case in startups or in tech companies, that you might have a nice technology, but you still don't have a product market fit, or maybe it's not the right time, or you don't have the right industry that you're focusing on. So we were thinking a lot and discussing with potential clients, and we started to understand that this possibility to have a digital twin opens up a variety of additional exciting use cases for the brands. First of all, every consumer, every fan that is tapping the product equipped with our technology with his or her smartphone, he creates a direct connection to that brand. From a brand perspective, that's access to first-party data. Of course, we have to respect the opt-in, we have to respect the consent of the user, but what we are observing with the teams, with the brands that we work together, is that the consumers have quite a high willingness to share that data if they get something in return. For example, tapping the product an hour ago gave me the lineup for the squad playing this afternoon. So by having the jersey, I know before everyone else who is playing the game. Or I get access to behind-the-scenes content by scanning it. And speaking about that, we are still in that Web 2.0 world. That's nothing to do with the NFT or the Web 3 or metaverse. It's simply a new channel, or in other words, transforming the physical product into a new and very exciting communication channel with the brands. And that's something the brands understood immediately. They lack first-party data, and they want to be closer to their fans, closer to the consumers. So that was a better way to get engaged with them. We believe even in one step further, because since every of these digital items is a non-fungible token and it sits on a decentralized network, it's possible, and it will be possible even more in the future, to use these items outside of the brand world. So what we see here is still the app of that team, so we are inside that brand world, but then we can take the jersey and we can wear it outside that world. As an example, specifically this jersey, it sits on the Polygon blockchain. It's a little bit more efficient protocol than Ethereum or Bitcoin. And you can use this jersey then on other third-party metaverse or digital platforms. For example, you can walk around with that jersey in Decentraland. We all agree, and we saw it before, just a few of you have started to experience the metaverse. We are still very early stage, and I would lie if I would tell you that I know how this world will look like. Is it VR? Is it AR? Is it desktop or mobile-based? Will it be multiple different metaverses for different industries? Or is there a football metaverse and eventually a fashion metaverse? Or is there that one metaverse that Facebook or the Meta company is currently building? I don't know. And I think no one does. But what we know is these worlds will emerge, and especially for the youngest generation, for the Generation Z, or for the younger generations, these worlds matter a lot. I spoke to some really young football fans, and for them it's equally or even more important what their player wears in a video game and what they wear in the real life on the streets. So we believe in this physical and digital worlds merging, and that it will be very normal in the future that physical products will be used in a digital environment as well. And brands and sport teams that work together with us, by equipping their products with the collectID technology, they get their physical products ready for that world, however that world will look like one day. And we already have some use cases, but I don't think that we have even seen 10% of what will be possible within the metaverse. These are some of our clients, so the sports industry, and that was also a lucky coincidence. I would have never thought that we will have most traction and be most successful in sports. Not at all. When we started, we were focusing more on sneakers and fashion. But then we did a first POC with our hometown club, FC St. Gallen, a small Swiss team with a long tradition, I have to say. And it worked pretty well, because fans especially want to be very close with their teams. The relation you have with your favorite athletes or your favorite sports teams, it's very emotional and it's very strong. And it's probably even stronger than the relation you have with the brands that you're wearing on your daily life. So we did that first POC. We saw extremely high engagement rates. So to give you an idea, that was a special edition jersey actually that was released around a legend, a former player of the team. And I think we had around 80% of the buyers scanning the product at least once, and around 55% also then owning the NFT, taking decentralized ownership. And I guess for the most of these customers, and that was actually 2020, so that long before or before the NFT hype, so for most of the customers, that was the first time they got in contact with Web3 and NFT and the metaverse. And that's one of our mission. We believe that these days, NFTs and the Web3 world is still very niche. There is people like me that started to trade some cryptos, and we know pretty well how a wallet works. But the majority of people, they're still not ready there. And we want to take these customers and give them an easy way to go into that world. And by just tapping your product and then accessing the NFT, that's quite an easy way. We then did a lot with other football teams, ice hockey teams. So today we work almost with all teams in Switzerland. We have a lot of customers in the DACH region, Germany. But what we are extremely proud that we could also reach out to world-leading teams. For example, the jersey I have here, and it's one of my favorite jerseys. I think it looks just very nice. It's a football team from Brazil. We didn't know about the team, but it's actually a huge team. They dropped 120,000 of these jerseys in 4 days, just to give you an idea, because we are always looking from Europe to the rest of the world, but that let us realize that there is other countries, also in South America, with a huge potential. This is one industry that we are in. The other one is, as I said, the fashion industry. We are also having a few exciting pilots here. So I guess some of you know the brand Maison Mollerus. It's a handbag brand here in Switzerland where we did the first POC last year. This bag was actually produced from recycled leather. That means typically when you create a bag, there is a lot of spare parts. I try to compare it when you make cookies. And then you always have a lot of dough left over. So what they did here is they took the leftovers that are actually too small to create a bag. They shred them to make a powder. And then with that powder, create the recycled leather. And that's, of course, a nice story to tell. And another reason they used our product to do it. And then last but not least, and that's actually even still a tryout for us, or you could say a venture within the venture. We created a separate brand we called collectID, where we equip wine bottles with this technology. And again, we still stick to our roots. So for example, with the wine bottles, the tag goes over the top, which prevents it from getting opened and for example, refilled with a cheap or with a non-sustainable or even with a poisoned liquor. But here again, the interaction, the storytelling, knowing more about what you drink, is it biodynamically grown, is it sustainably produced, stuff like that is very interesting for the consumers. This is probably our biggest challenge. Software is easy, hardware is a pain in the ass. So to get the tag into the product, when I started, it seemed very easy. Yeah, let's call Adidas and put some tags in their sneakers. Forget it. So the supply chain is so complex. They have a million reasons why this is not possible. So we thought about ways also not to be too invasive to the supply chain. For example, we can print the tag with a heat transfer, or actually printing a t-shirt allows also to print an NFC tag on it. We have some hang tags that we can also use post-production. So when we think about secondary trading platforms, like Rebel, for example, in the handbag industry, or StockX, one of the biggest sneaker trading platforms. And then, of course, still the most efficient way, and this is also the way we do it when we equip 100,000 or more items, is to go directly into the production process. I want to share this slide. We were actually discussing if we should show it or not. This is our business model, and that's very important because that's what every investor asks at some point. How do you make money? It's nice, it's cool for the fans, but how do you earn money? And I wanted to show that, not just to show you how we make money, more to show you, again, like how assumptions change and how you need to be open and willing also to change your business or to change your approach. We started very simple, fee per product. You equip 10,000 of your products, you pay us the 10,000 times the fee per product. That works. It's a good business model. It's very easy to calculate for us and also for our partners. But for some teams, for example, in the sports industry, it's still quite an effort when they have 500,000 jerseys to pay, let's say, 500,000 euros up front. So we were also working on the business model. We were rethinking our approach. And these days, we basically have two ways, and we let our customers decide. And the second way that we earn money is per activation. So instead of paying every single tag that goes into the jersey or into the handbag or the sneaker, our customers now pay per activation. That means whenever a product gets scanned, whenever there is an interaction with the consumer. That has the advantage that they only pay when they get something in return, and for us, it's a much higher upside if the product works well. And since we are convinced that our activation rates are really high, we said, yeah, let's try that business model. And we're currently trying it with the first customers. So again, and that's, I think, one of the biggest lessons we learned, you need to adapt, you need to pivot, you need to rethink, and you should not wait too long doing that, because otherwise someone else is passing. That's it. We are slightly ahead of time, so if there is like a last question or any remarks, I'm also happy to do it. Or, yeah, thank you very much for listening and joining the session.
Thank you, David. And sorry for the mistake in the name before.
No problem.
Yeah, if there's one question, we can maybe answer that. Otherwise, I would also say we can meet you afterwards and go on into a one-on-one chat. Did I see a raise of hands? One question. Okay, I'm going to repeat this question so everybody hears it. Who covers the cost for this technology? Is it the company or the people who use it?
That's a very smart question. It's the B2B partner, the brand, that pays the bill. And at the moment, everything is free for the end consumer. But what we see then in the next step is that sometimes the price for the physical product gets slightly increased because the consumers get more than just a physical product. What's also possible, but we haven't tried it honestly yet, is that you get the physical product and then basically unlocking the digital twin would cost you a little bit extra. So at the moment, it's mainly paid by the brands, but of course they are also ask how they can then get the return on investment by increasing the price or by upselling more products later on. And I forgot to say one last thing. We are hiring. And so, and honestly, I told to the other speakers before, it's not so easy to hire female partners for our team, especially in that context of sports and tech. Female co-founders, female entrepreneurs are highly underrepresented, and we also made it a strategic priority. It's even more sad that Katrina is not here, but at least I wanted to share that. So if you're looking for a new challenge, let me know. Reach out to us or on Instagram, LinkedIn, or wherever, and we are happy to go on a coffee or chat with you.
Thanks you, David. Again. And we also have a physical thank you for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.